Gillian, I don't know if you knew, but John Mahoney, who plays Frasier's dad on the TV show Frasier,
Yeah.
he grew up in England and moved to the States when he was about 18.
Oh,
and
really?
Had a hard time losing the accent. For you, I know you were younger when you returned to the U.S., but how difficult was it for you to adjust with your friends when they heard the way you speak? And can you still do a good English accent?
It didn't. It took me a while to adjust. I think I learned pretty early on that that it was a benefit to have an accent, and so I hung on to it, even a trace of it, into my college years, and then finally just said, you know, this is. I'm being false here. This isn't the truth anymore, and so I let go of it.
Yeah.
But actually, most of the theater work that I've done has been British farce, and so it's been a blessing that I've been able to switch back to a British accent because I've gotten hired for it.
Well, what were the benefits when you were younger?
Just, you know, as an early teen,
Yeah.
you kind of get more friends if you are interesting in any way, and some people think that accents are kind of interesting, and so I got friends that lasted for about a week for a while.
You know, with a show like yours, a lot of strange things happen to people, which requires a lot of elaborate makeup, and people become victims of like weird things happening. Do you ever feel sorry for the actors who have to lie there with all this weird makeup on?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are some times when actors come in and go through 6 hours of makeup, and they're used for maybe half an hour in the day and then sent home again, or they sit and they wait around in the makeup, and they're used for one shot at the end of the day, and then they wrap and they go through 3 hours of taking off the makeup. It's terrible. I mean, David and I had an experience where we did an episode where we aged. We aged to over 100, and that was probably close to one of the most horrible weeks of my life. And ever since then, just thinking about people who decide to do movies where the main character goes through extensive prosthetics, and I'd do it for certain films, but to do it every day for a series must be horrible, horrible.
You know, when I was doing the research for this interview, I was on the computer, and you may not be aware of this, but there seems to be 1 or 2 websites devoted to you. How
1 or 2?
Now, how amusing is it for your family to see all this attention that's lavished on you by your fans?
I don't know. We don't talk about it that much. I try not to talk about it. And I think they know that I try not to talk about it, so they don't talk about it. We talk about other stuff, and I'm sure it's amusing to them to a certain degree in their lives, but I don't know.
A question about fans, and I'm sure like 99% of all fans are very respectful, and they realize it's a TV show and all that. But do you ever find yourself in situations when you're talking to someone who thinks that you actually are the character, and have you become good at getting out of those situations gracefully?
I haven't had that much trouble in that respect with fans, but there was an interviewer yesterday who was interviewing me, and there were a few times when she made some comments that seemed as if she was having a really hard time separating me from Scully, and I kept on having to redirect the conversation and say, well, hang on a second, are you talking about me or are you talking about Scully? And you know, that was me acting at that point. So it was kind of interesting for an interviewer to be that engrossed.
Well, it means you're doing your job well.
Perhaps.
Okay.